Day 3. I've had 168 views of my YouTube. Holy shit. Anyway, you got to get your exercise in every day. I'm the worst for that, but my wife has kicked me out of bed this morning, and we're going to go take the dog for a walk. So social isolation doesn't mean you don't get out and about. It's so good for you. So here's my family. Here's the dog.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking to all these people on YouTube. So get out somewhere where there are less people and do some exercise. Yoga you can do in the size of a, I don't know, 2 by 2 meters. There's a great app on the web called Down Dog. Mate, when I first started doing Down Dog, I thought my hammies were going to snap after the first 2 minutes. I hated the Down Dog thing. That sucks badly when you're doing the salute to the sun and you got the back of the leg. That's that one where you, well, I'll show you. That's that one where you got to go like this, and then like that, and like that. As you can see, I'm an expert. That yoga stuff, mate, it is so good because it's breathing, it's meditation, it's stretching, it's muscles. One of our exponents over here in the West, Charles Crowther, is a black belt in yoga, so maybe talk to him. But go for a walk. Today I'm going to try and get some golf in. I'm trying to do any exercise where I don't come into contact with other people. This is a really smart one because I get to be with my family, but they're actually 2 kilometers away. So yeah, exercise, really important at the moment. Another thing, I'm picking up somebody's wild night last night, Wild Turkey 101, might have to get me some of that. Do a good deed once a day. And sometimes the good deed isn't as exciting. That bloke there, his dog just did that, so I'm going to do a good deed and pick it up. How good is YouTube, mate? How good is this? Aren't you being entertained? Oh. Just to show you the darker side of the coronavirus campaign, we found Jesus the cockroach.
Don't call him Jesus.
in the car. He's Jesus.
He's not Jesus.
Because when Audrey saw him, she said, "Oh, Jesus."
Oh. Wife hard at it, cleaning the couches. Well done.
Thank you. Got time to get the cleaning done.
Yes, and we found an entire cutlery set in the lounge, plus a pick, a pen, and
It's a bit of Lego.
some sort of torture device. Photo of the day, VJ Kiss, New York City, end of World War II. How magic. Probably considered sexual harassment today. Today's song, The Police Don't Stand So Close to Me, was suggested by Shell and Nick in Qatar. Sending all my love out to you too, and just reminds us that there's people all over the world going through the same thing. Obviously some medicinal lemonade's helping them out at the moment. Movie of the day, Beaches, a complete weep fest. 2 friends that grow up and then grow apart and then grow back together when they need it most. Thanks for all the feedback that everyone's been giving me. Movie of the day, Beaches, a complete weep fest. 2 friends that grow up and then grow apart and then grow back together when they need it most. Boys in Melbourne with Bezer and his mates paid me out about my editing skills with the phone. Yeah, I know, I'm trying to do better today. Okay, joke of the day. This is pretty much my favourite joke, so I'm using it on day 3 of this stuff. There's a swear word at the end, so if you don't want the kids to watch, turn off now. Kids are in a classroom. And the teacher says, today we're going to tell a story and then we're going to tell the moral of the story. So the first kid, very keen little girl, puts up her hand and teacher says, yes, Kate, go ahead. My father works at the hatchery and he's in charge of whether they're hens or roosters. And she goes, oh, good, yes, righto. And he put all these eggs in a basket and said, they're all going to be roosters. And they weren't. Some of them hatched and some of them were hens. And the teacher goes, fantastic. That's exactly what we're after. So what's the moral of that story, Katie? And she said, don't count your chickens till they're hatched. Oh my God, perfect. You get the idea. This is exactly what we're after. So next little kid, good little boy, Benny puts up his hand. Ben, go ahead. My dad also works at the hatchery. Oh, go ahead, Ben. He put his box of eggs on the back of the truck and drove off and they smashed. And, that's sad, Ben. And what's the moral? Teacher, don't count your chickens till they're hatched. And teacher goes, oh, look, this is great. We're getting this. And then little dirty Johnny's up the back of the class. And teacher doesn't even want to look at him, but he's going, Miss. Dirty Johnny, go ahead. Well, miss, my story's about Uncle Ben. And Uncle Ben doesn't work at the hatchery. In fact, he hasn't held a job down since the end of the Vietnam War. And he was in the Vietnam War and he was in the biggest firefight of the entire conflict. He was out on the Delta, smoke, explosions, and he got knocked out. When he woke up, all the fighting had ceased. It was quiet. And next to him was a bottle of Jack Daniels, an AK-47, and a note from his platoon. And he picks up the note and it says, Dear Uncle Bill, we hate you. We hope you die today. Love your platoon. And teacher, he had hate in his heart that day. He picked up that bottle of Jack Daniels and jammed it down. And then he picked up that AK-47 and marched into the jungle. And teacher, he didn't care if the first thing he found was friend or foe. He walked into a village and mowed down every single person in that village. And then he started on the animals. And then he burnt the village to the ground. And he urinated on the ashes, teacher. And the teacher's aghast. And so, what's the moral to the story? Don't fuck with Uncle Bill when he's been drinking. I love that joke. Let's finish up. Good news of the day, watching 60 Minutes last night. There's these amazing guys in Queensland that think that they've very far along the way to a cure for this coronavirus, where human beings that, as a species, we have the capability of doing extreme harm to each other, but we can also do extreme good, and I'm so proud of them. Finally, a quote. I'll need my goggles. I can't even find them. Here they are. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears, your actions louder than your words, and your faith stronger than your feelings. I reckon that's a pretty good one. Folks, thanks so much. I'm getting as much out of doing this as I hope you're getting it out of watching it. I'll see you tomorrow.